I'm not sure that Michigan has a. I mean, because that's not just a long way to go. That's a long way to go to compete with
We
Georgia.
always see. I know you. Here you go. Go ahead, man.
Well, listen, I just
You
think
guys agree on this.
you need some breaks.
You're not that
You
far
need
away.
breaks.
It's
Number
like, go
one,
ahead, man. Whatever.
you need breaks to happen, hey, to go your way. Injuries. I mean, you look at the. I mean, I think Georgia was the better team against Alabama, but Alabama also lost their top two receivers. So if if injuries go your way, the biggest thing is to me is you got to get you can't be in that four spot. The four spot is a buzzsaw. That's just not where you want to live. And I also too think this year was a bit of an anomaly because I don't think the team that should have been number one was at number one. Like I think just with how everything shook out with Bama and Georgia in the SEC championship, it was a little different. But I don't I don't know. To me, it takes one or two recruiting classes. I think Michigan is on the trajectory with changing the culture. Like I think the entitlement, all that stuff, and obviously I'm just someone on the outside looking in. I'm not an insider or anything like that. But with the Rashawn Gary group, like I just felt like that group was just entitled. I didn't love that. It just was like, hey, we're here and we're Michigan, which you should have that swagger, but the swagger should be from the hard work that you put in, not from the guys who have built this tradition. It should be from you and the work that your guys have put in. Which you hear comments like Cade,
That's it for the
talking
platform.
about the work that they've put in that
Right.
class and things like that. Like I think that culture is getting there. So I mean, I don't know. You might be a long way. I don't think you're a long way.
And we'll see. I think the best chance you have to really take the next step is to be able to kind of ride the momentum of being in front of of these prime time recruit faces and kind of showing like, hey, you know what, you can play on the grandest stage at the University of Michigan, right? And how is Harbaugh and his staff able to capitalize with the fact that, hey, we were in the college football playoff when it came to January, in the CFP, there was only four teams that were playing. One team in Cincinnati, they're Fickle's done a solid job, but the chances of them getting back there, are not as they don't have a traditional rich football history like we do, and you're able to possibly now just kind of ride the momentum and say, hey, look, we've done this. We're not just the most wins in college football history. No, we won recently. We've got a conference title. You can be part of that too, right? And I think that's why I think it was so important for them to finally break through. And now and think about these upcoming classes, guys who are seniors this fall and guys who are juniors. Try to really take advantage and get some of these 5-star kids, high 4-star, 5-star kids, who you probably normally couldn't get your foot in the door, or at least in their top five, because they're looking at their top five are normally what, Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, because that's who they see all the time. Well, now guess what? They see Michigan recently. Now maybe you can be that 15 and you have a legitimate chance, right? And then that, like you said, Des, once you're able to break through and get three or four of those guys, you start stringing together, some really good seasons. Get a couple conference championships. Let's say in a 4-year span, you win two conference titles, you make two college football playoff appearances. But now you're talking about uh, from a pedigree standpoint, going from being just a good program to like, wow, Michigan's a really good program. Michigan's not just a top 15 program in the country. Maybe they're top 7. That makes a huge difference in terms of how you look and for these recruits' eyes, and also guys who are looking to transfer. Guys who are big time recruits who are not, for whatever reason, panning out at Alabama or Georgia. They're like, well, I want to transfer and I want to play right away, but I definitely still want to play on this high stage too. Potentially even to go against these guys that I'm leaving. Now Michigan can be in the mix for that, right? Maybe Michigan at one point in time can get their version of Justin Fields, right? You know,